Hi 4A, welcome to Miss Dearie from a Distance. It's Tuesday and we're doing our reading class right now. So last night we read our story about Zelie and you answered your question for your journal about whether or not you would rather be rich or famous. And now we're going to talk a little bit about our story. So just a few things that I wanted to kind of go over with you. I'm going to ask a question. I want you to think about it, and then I'm going to tell you, kind of guide you, I guess, as to what your answer thought process should be. So, for the first thing I want you to think about is why does Geeter decide they must have different names? So, I want you to think about that for a second. Why do you think that she would have wanted to do that? Maybe she wants the summer to be different. I'm thinking maybe she wants the summer to be special. The new names will help create that special quality that she's expecting from this experience. Think about this too. When he said goodbye, Geeter and Towboy's father said to Geeter, "And now I leave it all to you." What do you think he meant by that? What do you think he meant when he said, "Now I leave it all to you"? Maybe that Geeter was going to be the one in charge. She was going to be the one who would have to take care of both herself and Towboy, her little brother, her brother. Why do you think Geeter makes up the story about the night travelers? What do you think? Well, maybe she didn't want Towboy to sleep near her, so she made up the story to scare him away. I don't know. What do you think? You could think something different. Maya, what are you thinking over there? What about this? Why do you think Geeter tells Towboy about the stars? I think she realized, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have been telling him about these night travelers, and so maybe I want to have him think about something else. And I think she kind of wanted to think about something else too after she told that story. All right, what about this? Why do you think that Geeter's joke on Towboy turned out to be more of a joke on herself than on him? What do you think? Think back to that. I'm looking at pages 300 to 301 when I wrote this question. So what are you thinking about that? So Geeter made up the story about the night travelers to frighten Towboy. And then in the middle of the night, what does she see? She sees someone on the road who fits her own description of a night traveler, and she ends up being more frightened than Towboy was. And sometimes that can happen, right? Sometimes we end up scaring ourselves into believing something that we know isn't real or that we shouldn't be worried about. But that happens because we're human, and that's what happened to her. Okay, what about this question? Of all the things Geeter says about the Tabors, which thing, aside from the obvious facts about their appearance, is most likely true? And I think that we can say that they like to be left alone. They like to be left alone. Here's another question for you to think about. Why do you think Geeter had a dream about Zelie? Well, Geeter, as we know, is fascinated by Zelie and admires her in an odd way. And in the dream, Zelie acknowledges this admiration. Here's one more question for you to think about. At the end of the story, do you think Geeter has made any connection between Zelie and the night traveler from the night before? What do you think? So I think that she has not made the connection because her image of Zelie is so ideal that she couldn't imagine Zelie being frightening. She just doesn't think that that's at all possible. So what I want you guys to do today is look back through the story, but I want you to do the CFUs on page 309. You can restate and complete sentences. You don't have to write the questions. You have numbers 1 through 5 to answer. Then I want you to do the write about on page 309. It says, in The Night Traveler, Geeter makes up stories about Nat, Tabor, and Zelie. For example, she tells Towboy that they came from Tallahassee in a wagon train. Tallahassee is the capital of which state for A? I know you know it. If Geeter knew that the night traveler was Zelie, what kind of story might she make up to explain why Zelie walks down the road alone at night? Write the story as Geeter might tell it. Okay, so you don't have to write a giant story here, maybe a paragraph or so. If you want it to be a little bit longer, that's fine, but we're not looking for pages and pages and pages. I know some of you are wanting to write pages and pages and pages, and you can if you want to, but we don't have to write that much for this answer. Maybe a paragraph. Let's try to condense it into a paragraph. That should work. So that's your assignments for today for reading. So I'll see you tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, you know where to find me. This was Miss Dearie from a distance reading for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye for A. Miss you.